Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's tutorial, I will demonstrate how to draft the pattern for an off-shoulder front overlap cape dress. Hi, my name is Ayo and welcome to 011 Clothing Tutorials. On this channel, I upload DIYs, pattern drafting and sewing tutorials. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so. And do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now, let's get right into the tutorial. Thank you. I'll be working with the following items: tape measure, rulers and curves, pins, tracing wheel. Ideally, a pencil should be used to draft a pattern, but for tutorial purpose, I'll be using this black marker pen, a pair of paper scissors, my basic bodice pattern, and also my basic sleeve pattern. I have here my half scale basic bodice pattern, which I drafted using the bust dart technique. The tutorial for this will be above and in the description box below. For the front pattern, I will make use of the full front pattern. To alter this basic bodice pattern, I will use some additional measurements. Shoulders under bust 13 inches, around under bust 34 inches, strap to strap measurement 10 inches. I will now go ahead and do the under bust tightening. My shoulders under bust measurement is 13 inches. So from the neck point, I will go ahead to measure and mark 13 inches downwards like this. I will square a horizontal line across, and this line is the under bust line. My around under bust measurement is 34 inches. So I will go ahead to divide the around under bust measurement by 4, and this is 34 inches divided by 4, and this is equal to 8.5 inches. So on the under bust line, starting from the center front, I will measure and mark 8.5 inches like this. I will measure what I have left, and this gave me a value of 1.5 inches. I will share this 1.5 inches into 2, 1 inch and 0.5 inch. So from this dart leg closer to the center front, I will go ahead to measure and mark half an inch, and from the other dart leg closer to the side seam, I will measure and mark 1 inch. I will now go ahead and connect these 2 points to the bust point, and this is the bust point. The tip of the waist dart is the bust point. I will also connect these 2 points to the end of the waist dart like this. For the off shoulder line, I will measure and mark 4 inches from the neck point downwards. So from the neck point, I will measure and mark 4 inches downwards like this. I will square a horizontal line across, and this line is the off shoulder line. Also on the back pattern, I will measure and mark 4 inches for the off shoulder line. I will also square a horizontal line across like this. Next, I will locate and mark the middle point on the front and back shoulder lines like this. I will now connect these middle points to the tip of the waist dart like this for both the front and the back patterns. For the overbust tightening, I will measure and mark 3/4 of an inch on both sides of the middle shoulder line on the front pattern on the armhole line. I will now connect it to the tip of the waist dart like this. The tip of the waist is also the bust point on the front pattern. I will get rid of this sharp point here like this using my French curve. On the back pattern, I will measure and mark 1/4 of an inch on both sides of the middle shoulder line on the off shoulder line. I will now connect these 2 points to the tip of the waist dart like this on the back pattern. So now I'm done with the overbust tightening. My strap to strap measurement is 10 inches. So I will divide the strap to strap measurement by 2, and this is 10 inches divided by 2, and this is equal to 5 inches. So on the off shoulder line, I will measure and mark 5 inches, but the overbust dart will not be included in the measurement. I will start the measurement from the center front till I reach the first dart leg. Then I will continue the measurement from the second dart leg till I have 5 inches measurement. So I'll go ahead and do the measurement now and mark the 5-inch point. On the back pattern, on the off shoulder line, I will also measure and mark 5 inches starting from the center back. Also, the overbust dart will not be included in the measurement. I will mark the 5-inch point. I will mark the 5-inch point like this. I will now go ahead and connect the 5-inch points on both the front and the back pattern to the base of the armhole. I will use a French curve for this, but I will make sure that the line is not too curvy. I will use slight curves for this. At the center back, on the off shoulder line, I will come down by 1 inch. I will now connect these 2 points together like this with my curve. Next, I will open up the front pattern like this. Using a French curve, I will now connect the first overbust dart leg to the base of the waist dart at this side like this. I will use this French curve for this. I'll use this big French curve for this. I will now go ahead and cut out just the outlines of the front and the back patterns. When drawing this curve, which will be the overlap at the front of the dress, you have to be very careful, or else your outfit will be too revealing at the front. Different positions of the curve will give you different front neck depths. Different types of French curves can also drastically change the shape of the front neckline and also the front neck depth. A very important tip when placing your French curve is that where the curve intersects the middle center front line, that is how deep the front neckline will be when you finish making the outfit. I will now go ahead and cut out the patterns, but still I will also cut out just the outlines. I won't separate the front and the back pieces just yet. This is the basic sleeve pattern, which I will alter into an off-shoulder sleeve. To do this, I will need some additional measurements. My around shoulder measurement, which is 44 inches, around upper bust, which is 36 inches. I will now calculate the difference between these two values, and this is 44 inches minus 36 inches, and this is equal to 8 inches. I will now fold my sleeve into two like this. I will now divide the 8 inches by 2, and this is equal to 4 inches. So at the upper part of the sleeve edge, I will locate where I will get a value of 4 inches, and I will mark the points. I will now square a horizontal line across like this. I will trim it off. Next, I will measure and mark 4 inches for the width of the off-shoulder sleeve. And I will square a horizontal line across like this. Then I will cut it out. Using either the front or the back pattern, I will use the off-shoulder armhole curve as a guide to draw out the armhole curve of the off-shoulder sleeve like this. I will confirm that the width is also 4 inches at the armhole of the off-shoulder sleeve. I will now redraw the lower curve of the sleeve like this using my French curve. I will now cut it out. I will now go ahead and cut out the off-shoulder sleeve on another pattern paper, just to make sure that everything is even and perfect on both sides of the sleeve. I will label the upper part of the sleeve like this. I will draw out the middle line of the sleeve. Next, I will measure and mark half an inch on both sides of the middle line at the lower part of the off-shoulder sleeve. I will now connect the half an inch points to the top of the sleeve like this to form a dart. Using a sellotape, I will now close the dart. Next, I will correct the uneven ends at the top and also at the base of the off-shoulder sleeve like this. I will now trim it off. So now I'm done with the off-shoulder sleeve. So these are the three pieces that I will use to create the cape of the dress. As you can see, I haven't cut out the front and the back pieces just yet. I will now sellotape the off-shoulder sleeve to the armholes of the front and the back patterns like this. I will start by measuring 4 inches like this, starting from the armhole. I will now draw out the shape of the cape like this. For the back, the cape will also be 4 inches wide. I will also draw out the shape. Next, I will trace out the cape on another pattern paper like this. I will also trace out the overbust dart. I will now go ahead and make the tracing bolder using my French curve ruler and marker pen like this. I will now cut it out. I will close the 2 overbust darts like this using a sellotape. I will trim off the uneven parts. The protrusion at this end, the curve at this end is too much, so I'm going to redraw the curve like this and then I'll trim it off. I will now separate the off-shoulder sleeve from the bodice like this. I will now cut out, I will separate the back and the front pattern into pieces along the dart lines like this. I will cut out the darts and the underbust and the overbust tightening. I will close the bust dart like this using a sellotape. I will now trim off the excess at the side seam like this. So that's it guys, we are done. So these are all the pattern pieces needed to make the body of the off-shoulder overlap cape dress. Stay tuned for my next tutorial where I will cut and sew these pattern pieces on my fabric. See you soon.